Hello, this is my channel Just Let Me Sew, and my name's Tania. Thank you very much for joining me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new. Great to have you along. So before I start, first of all, you might be able to notice my voice is a little bit croaky. I'm recovering from a mystery bout of laryngitis, not really sure what caused it, but I feel fine. I just sound croaky, so sorry about that. Also, I need to introduce you to somebody new. If you've been watching my channel before, you'll know that I have a lovely old cat called Etty, who is at least 15 years old. We think she's probably older than that, but she's a rescue cat, so we're not sure. And to sort of brace ourselves, mainly my son, who adores her, we decided to get another kitten, and she is joining me today. She's sitting on my chair just behind me. So I'll pick her up so you can see her. Here she is, little Rosa. She's very, very cute. She's very good. She's not a crazy little kitten. Very sweet, easygoing little thing. So she's joining me today. So try not to squish her. So first thing I wanted to do today was tell you about my amazing prize that I won. I'm so excited. I don't think I've ever won a prize, certainly not as an adult. I remember winning a prize when I was about 7 for a cuddly toy in a colouring competition, but I won this amazing prize with Sew Essential. Sew Essential is an online fabric haberdashery store. They sell sewing machines as well, like an amazing shop for everything sewing related. And Lucy was running a competition where you had to tag yourself and a friend and sign up to their newsletter. So me and Angie, Sewing Celeriac, won it as well. So I'm going to show you my prize now. I'm going to open the box with you. I haven't opened it. It arrived during the week, so I've been very excited, but I thought I would open it with you. So let me grab the box. Okay, so this is the box. Open it up, see what I have. I mean, it's not a surprise because the prize was a £100 voucher to spend on anything you wanted in the shop. So a £100 prize, I think that's amazing, incredibly generous of them. So when I found out that I won, I couldn't quite believe it. And I have to say, I had a good week or two really mulling it over of what did I want to buy, because £100 is a lot to spend on something, so I wanted to make sure I made the right decision. Okay, so I'm into the box. Here we go. So as I said, it's not a surprise. I do know what I ordered, but a mixture of things that I had really wanted for a long time, but it just sort of put off buying them. So excuse the rustling. I know it's extra loud when you're watching these videos. Lots of tissue paper, old pattern pieces, that's cool. So first thing I ordered was a tailor's ham. So I think these are really important to have to get nice crisp finishings on your seams when you're pressing, but I'd always put off buying one. So I thought I'm going to treat myself and get one. So that is Tailor's pressing ham from So Easy. Brilliant. Another thing I really wanted to get was for when you're grading your seam allowances, particularly like if you're doing bias binding or bulkier seams, was a pair of applique scissors. I think they're also called like duck bill scissors because they've got that interesting blade, sort of one normal scissor and then one semicircle. So I got those. Some thread snips. I don't actually have any thread snips, and I've heard people talk about them and say how useful they are, so I got myself a pair of those. Bought myself a new seam gauge. I do already have one of these, but my daughter got a hold of it and found out that the metal's actually quite easy to bend, so she bent it in quite a few places. So I managed to sort of hammer it back, but it's still got quite a few bumps, so I thought I'd treat myself to get a new one. Now this I have wanted for a very long time. It's a loop turner, and this is the Clover loop turner. So it just makes doing those tiny little straps a lot easier. In the past, when it comes to doing fiddly little straps, I've done it sort of like the bias binding way, where I've folded it in just to avoid having to try and pull it, turn it through. So this will be fantastic, really useful. I bought myself a couple of zips because I'm thinking of making a jumpsuit, and you will see in a minute which one I'm thinking of making. So I got 2 long zips just to cover myself for the colour I want to go for. So that is just a nylon zip. That's long, I think they're 22 inch. Yeah, so a black and a pink. And then I treated myself and bought some patterns. So I think, yeah, I got 3 patterns, and they are all indie patterns that I put off buying just mainly because of the price tag, really. So I thought this was the perfect chance to treat myself to them. So I went for the Blanca flight suit, and this was inspired by 2 makes that I'd seen. First was Angela from Devon Thread Tales, made an amazing flight suit. Loved the look of that one. And then when I went to the knitting and stitching show, I saw Victoria from Little Rosy Cheeks wearing an amazing version of this in a pink and white denim, striped denim. And I've actually bought that denim. So I'm not sure if I'll use it for this. Maybe I'll use it for some trousers instead, but I definitely want to make this up and have a go at it. It's a bit more of a complicated make, I think. It's going to be one when I've got the headspace to make it, definitely. But I just think it's fantastic. I'll try and include some pictures of it up here so it's a bit clearer. But it goes from bust of 0 to 20, which is 31 inches up to 46 inches. Waist of 24 inches up to 39, and hip 33 inches up to 48. And the different versions, I think, are mainly just the legs. From the look of it, you can do a tapered leg or a slightly wider look leg. And the belts look a little bit different. One's got sort of like a buckle and the other's a tie. So I'm not sure which version I would go for, but really excited to give that a go. Don't know when I will pluck up the courage to do it, but I've got myself one step further by actually having the pattern now. So that's good. Another closet core pattern that, again, I have wanted for a very long time, and this has been on my Pinterest for ages. I have a Pinterest board called Would Love to Make, and whenever like the big 4 have pattern sales or any of the indie patterns have sales on, I'll go onto that board just to check have I got anything from that pattern company that I want to get to take advantage of the sale. And that is the Kalle shirt by Closet Core. I love this pattern, and I particularly like the stand collar. Now, what do you call that kind of collar? It's a mandarin collar, isn't it? I think it's just a sort of stand collar. So I would want to make that version, and the shorter length as well. I don't want to make it too cropped. I'll measure that just to check, because I'd like to be able to wear it to work. But I love that curved hem at the back that you can see. That's really lovely, really nice. So I'm going to be making that up hopefully this summer to wear this summer, and I'm going to be doing a makes video coming out soon of the fabric that I want to use for that one. So the Kalle shirt, they do their difficulty out of triangles, and this one's got 3 out of 5 triangles. Apologies, the Blanca, that's got 4. So I would say that is way more difficult than that. But that's 3 and that's 4. I think that would probably be a 5 in my opinion, because it's got a zip down the front as well. Anyway, who knows? See what it's like when I make it. But the Kalle, get back to the measurements, is bust 31 inches up to 46 inches, waist of 24 up to 39, and the hip is 33 up to 48 inches, and that's 0 to 20 again. So yeah, exactly the same there. I thought it was different, but it's not. So yeah, 2 options. You can do the short, the long, and then you've got different collar options as well. It's not a full sleeve, it's a sort of like a grown-on sleeve. I don't know if it's a separate piece or they just fold it up, but I'm sure you could hack it to make it long sleeve if you wanted to. And then the last pattern that I bought, again, I've wanted this for a really long time, and I'm trying to remember the name of the lady that inspired me. I can't remember her name. If I find her name, I'll put it here. Something creative. She used to have a vlog. She doesn't vlog anymore, but she was a big fan of this, I think, this pattern. And then recently I saw the lovely Rachel from the French Seams also made up this pattern. So I thought, that's a sign, I've got to get it, got to have a go. And it is the named pattern Klipwrap Dress. And I particularly want to make the sleeveless version, but in the longer length. I do like the look of the jumpsuit, but I've heard mixed reviews of that, so I'm not too sure, but I want to do the sleeveless longer length dress. I just love that as well. I've made the Rita dress by named patterns before, and I know they do come up quite long. I think they are drafted for 5'8". Can't see it immediately here, but I think they are quite long, so I might need to take that up a little bit. But this one goes from European size 32 up to 56, which is 30-inch bust up to say 53. They've done it 53 3/4. Waist 23 to 46 inches, and a hip pretty much 33 up to 56. And very precise, 55 7/8. There we go. I'll just call that 56, I think. Very precise. So again, I'm hoping to get that made up for this summer. I think that would be a lovely one to be able to wear to work. I don't have any jersey fabric for this one. It is for fabric suggestions. Use a drapey but sturdy knit fabric that stretches about 30 to 50%. This garment has quite a bit of volume, so make sure your fabric isn't too stretchy and heavy, as it can lose its shape. So if I wanted to make this one up for the summer, I would need to buy some fabric for this. So yeah, I'll have a think about that one. So that is everything that I bought with my prize money. So excited. I thought that was just so amazing to win a prize. I couldn't quite believe it. Angie and I were texting each other going, is this real? Have we really won this? And then Lucy texted us to say, you've won the prize. We were like, oh my goodness, that's fantastic. It's so exciting. So thanks again very, very much to Lucy and the team at So Essential. It was really generous of you, and I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Next thing to talk about is something that I have just finished making. I mean, finished making vaguely. I have finished it, but it's not wearable just yet. And that is the Marnie Blouse. And for this one, I wanted to make up a sleeveless version for the summer. And I wanted a white version, so it'd be versatile to go with all those nice patterned skirts and trousers that we tend to wear in the warmer months. So this is it, made up in a lovely double gauze that I got from First for Fabrics. I think they still do have it on their website actually, but it's just a standard double gauze, and I made it sleeveless. So I have gone for a slightly hacked version here. To make it sleeveless, what I did was, at the shoulder seams, I took out 1 inch and then I just graded it back in. I didn't want that to go any lower, so I just made sure it was the same. Normally with sleeveless tops, they are a bit tighter fitting around the armsyce, because when there's a sleeve, you need that bit more give. So just make sure that you're not making it too wide if you do want to do that. What you could probably do if you wanted to do a really careful hack was to look up a tutorial. There's a really good tutorial on the Helen's Closet website for the Gilbert shirt of how to make that sleeveless, and they run through exactly what you need to do. I didn't do that for this one, mainly because I didn't have the time or the energy to be doing that. I just wanted a really quick, easy hack. And also, because you've got this big frill here, it hides quite a lot anyway. So I have tried it on as I was going through, and it's fine. It doesn't gape and show too much anyway. So I've just finished off there around the arms with some bias binding. You might also notice that I have flipped it. So on the Marnie, usually this opening is at the back and it's closed with a little loop and button. So I think it was Angela from Devon Threadtails that was saying she knew somebody who had done it reverse. Sorry, Angela, if that is not you. Somebody said that they had seen someone do it back to front. And I thought that's a really good idea, because in the summer, I don't really want like a blouse that's tight up around my neck. I wanted something a little bit looser and floatier. So I've just flipped the back for the front yoke. With the Marnie, the front yoke actually comes with an extra inch, because that inch is then used to make the little pin tuck details. I didn't want to do the pin tuck details, but I did want to keep that extra length, just because if I hadn't have, that neck opening would have finished quite high up, and I didn't really like that either. It would have been really a bit too high, sort of a something of nothing opening. So I kept that inch length there. To make sure when it opens, I lined it, so my front and my back yokes are both lined, so that if it does open, you can't see anything. Another detail that I have added in, you might have spotted already, is I use my machine to do some little embroidery stitching. Is that going to focus? Maybe. They're just little stars all along the edge of the frill. I actually did that afterwards. I had in mind that I wanted to do it, but I thought I'm going to see how I feel at the end. And it was really, really easy to do. And it looks nice and neat from the reverse as well. So I did the top thread in the pink and then the bobbin in the white, so that when it flaps open, it's not too noticeable. And then the other detail that I've added that you might have spotted as well, this is the bit that isn't quite finished yet. So I want this blouse to be an entry for So Fruity, the challenge that Yvette Blossom Sandwich is running. But I don't have any fruity fabric, so I thought I'm going to embroider something on. So I have embroidered some little watermelon slices on there, and I've used this wash away interfacing on it. So I've just hand tacked that on and then just embroidered these little watermelons. So I drew the watermelon slices on paper, I put my interfacing over it to act as tracing paper, and then penciled that on as well. And then I will just pop this under the water, sorry, with a bit of detergent, and it should just wash away. So fantastic. And I did the little watermelons because Yvette is running a fundraising campaign for So Fruity as well, for charity to support children in Palestine during the atrocities over there. So I thought I'll do some watermelons, because watermelon is also the symbol for Palestine. So a nice little nod to that fundraiser that Yvette is fantastically organising for that. So that is my little blouse. I will try and put a photo or a video of me wearing it here if you want to see it. And if you've got any questions about how I altered that Marnie, let me know. I'm not really sure if I've made much sense, if I'm just rabbling on. So let me know down below in the comments if you want me to just clarify anything there. The last thing I'm going to talk about is some fabric that I received today. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this already. And I bought some fabric from Lamazi Fabrics. And this is to make up a dress that I'm going to make for a wedding party that I am going to. I won't say too much more about it because I'm going to do a plans video coming up soon, and I'll go into detail about that then. But I'll show you the fabric. It's this beautiful viscose. And it arrived, I think it arrived just today actually. Yes, it was today. Gosh, get confused with my days sometimes. Where do the days go? So I'll open it up. I haven't washed it yet, obviously. I love this print. It's geometric print. So lovely. It's called Sea Glass and it's by Rachel Parker, but it was especially for Lamazi Fabrics. It's really good quality. You can feel it's super soft, really smooth. So I bought 3 meters of that. I think that's lovely fabric for the summer. Nice pastel colours, but it's got those sort of pops of the darker colours in there as well. The cobalt blue and the pinks. Just lovely. Really like that. So I'll be making that up into a dress soon, and I will share details of what I'm going to be making for that dress in my plans video coming up soon. The final thing I actually wanted to talk to you about was an idea I had for the Meadow overalls. So I mentioned a couple of vlogs ago, I think, that I'd made up some Meadow overalls by Lydia Naomi, and I'd made them in a grey viscose linen, just as a sort of toile, but it was such an involved make, for me anyway, that I thought, oh, I can't just leave these as a toile, I've got to actually make them, so I will wear them. But I just didn't love the grey colour. So I started about doing some hand embroidery along the top yoke, which is just taking me a very long time. And as I said before, my embroidery skills are not the best. So I just suddenly had an idea to dye the fabric. I'll show you the overalls now. So here they are, this grey viscose linen. I'll try and include a picture of me wearing them. And in the grey, they're just sort of it's a bit like wearing a sort of uniform. That's how I feel anyway. So I just thought, dye the fabric. It's a viscose linen, so it will dye well. The thread is polyester, but I've done any top stitching in dark grey, so that's fine for black. So yeah, I will do that, and then I'll actually be able to wear these overalls, which I'm really pleased about. So I will keep you posted on my progress for that. Just another shout out as well, if you are nearish to the south of England in the UK, I'm helping to organise a afternoon tea event. Not actual sewing taking place, it's a socialising event with afternoon tea, and it's called So Fizdicated, and it's being run by the group Surrey Sews. I will include all the details in the description below. If you are interested in coming, it's on the 19th of October and it's taking place in Woking in Surrey. Woking's got a big train station, trains come in from all over the country, and it's a good time of day, so you would definitely still have time to make it home if you did even have to do a couple of hours on the train to get there. We have still got some tickets left, but they are selling out quite fast. So if you're interested in coming, do come along. Lovely to see you. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you are staying well and getting some sewing done, and I will see you next time. If you've enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing and give me a little like. It really does help my videos to get out there and for my channel to grow. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.